Hi everyone and welcome. So in the previous couple of videos we have covered that how you can create your own OPC UA server in the Neuron node to expose all the data collected through any other data acquisition module within the Neuron. So if you are collecting data from OPC DA and if you want to expose that data to OPC UA server, then you can expose that data using the Neuron. Okay, so you can deliver the data on the OPC UA protocol to any other SCADA system, any other ERP, or any other MES system with the help of Neuron. It doesn't matter you have collected data from Modbus, OPC DA, OPC UA, BACnet, anything. Okay, so that can be done with the Neuron and OPC UA server. Now, in that OPC UA server, we doesn't have any security. So right now that OPC UA server is running in the Neuron. If I go to the UA expert, okay, and if I try to add the server, if I try to connect with the Neuron OPC UA server, it won't ask for any username and password. See, I am directly connected without any username and password. I am able to read the data. You can see here. So we don't want like this. We want the security. Without any username and password, no one should able to connect with our OPC UA server. So we want to implement that in our Neuron OPC UA server. So how can you implement that? Okay, so that thing we are going to see in this video. So basically, we will disable the allow anonymous connection in our OPC UA server in the Neuron, and we will create a user for our OPC UA server connection. So without that username and password, no one can able to connect with our OPC UA server, which is running inside our Neuron node. So let's see how you can do that. So here is our Neuron node, and here is the configuration for our OPC UA server. So the primary endpoint is running on my local host interface, and the secondary endpoint or additional endpoint is running on my Wi-Fi network interface. Okay, and you can see both the endpoint is having allow anonymous user as yes. You can see. So that thing we have to disable now because we want the security. We don't want to allow anyone to connect with our OPC UA server and have our data. So we will disable this. Also, we will disable for our additional endpoint and we will save it. So once you save it, okay, it will restart the OPC UA server module and UA expert will disconnect to that OPC UA server. Now, if you try to add or if you try to rebrowse the OPC UA server on the same port, you will have our Neuron OPC UA server. You can use this non-security policy and the message mode to connect. Okay, it will ask for the username and password. Okay, but we don't have configured any user for that. So if I try to provide any username and password, you can see it is not having access to connect with that OPC UA server. Even if I retry, then also it will not connect. It will always ask for username and password, but the username and password is not valid, so it won't allow us to connect with that OPC UA server. So we have to configure user for that. Okay, so let's see how you can configure it. So main thing you have to do is to disable the allow anonymous user. Okay, so here you have to select no for your additional endpoint and primary endpoint URL, and after that, if you expand the OPC UA server module, here you can see the access. Okay, so you have to go to the access and here you can see the new role. Okay, and I am going to use the administrator role and I'm going to enable it, and then I'm going to provide permission to it. Okay, so I'm going to provide all the permission. So just give me a few seconds so I can enable all the permission here. I have enabled all the permission. Now I'm going to save it. Okay, and that's it. It will restart the OPC UA module and we will able to connect from UA expert software. So I'm going to add server again. I'm going to rebrowse. So it has browsed my Neuron OPC UA server. Now I'm going to connect. Now the username and password for the administrator which I have created just now is the admin. Okay, so I'm going to provide admin here, and here again I'm going to provide admin. You can see it is connected, but I don't see any tags here. Okay, there is no cap server OPCDA server tag, there is no metric and OPCDA server tag, and there is no process OPCDA server tag. Okay, so this is no use of me. Okay, so I cannot use this OPC UA server to get the data. So how can you allow your user to have the data? Okay, so you have to again go to the Neuron node, and here you can see the tag access. So you have to provide your user the tag access. Okay, so you have to click on this three dot you have to create new tag filter. So I'm going to rename it as a tag filter, and we will expand that. So here mode is include, okay, and I'm going to leave this two option as it is, and then I'm going to save it. Now anyone connecting with our OPC UA server can have access to our all the tag. Okay, so I'm going to the UA expert again. I'm going to abort it, again abort it. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to add the server again by rebrowsing it. Okay, it will ask for the username and password again. It won't allow without username and password. Okay, so this is what our agenda is. Once I add username and password, after that you can see cap server client tag, Metrican client tag, and the process client tag. Okay, now I am able to read the data of cap server and process. So this is how you have to enable the security in your OPC UA server, which you can create in the Neuron node. Okay, so what you have to do is, first of all, you have to go to the OPC UA server node. You have to disable allow anonymous user. So your allow anonymous user will be no. For additional endpoint also, your allow anonymous user will be no. And then after, you have to go to access. Here you have to create a new role. Okay, I'm going to use the administrator role, so that is why I have selected this one. But you can create new role, okay, from here, and you can use that. I have used administrator role, and I have provided all the permission. Okay, and I have provided the tag filter as well. I have allowed administrator to access of all the tags. Okay, so that's why whenever I'm connecting with the Neuron OPC UA server, it allows me to access all the tag. You can see process tag, Metrican client tag, and the cap server client tag. Okay, so this is how you have to enable the security in your OPC UA server, which is running inside the Neuron. Now if you have any question regarding it, okay, then you can always ping me on Telegram, Instagram, WhatsApp. Also you can send me a mail. Also you can comment on this video. Also you can ping me on LinkedIn. It's up to you how you want to connect with me. So that's it about how to enable security in your Neuron OPC UA server. Okay, and this is what our agenda for this video, that how to disable allow anonymous connection in your Neuron OPC UA server, and how to create user for your Neuron OPC UA server connection. So that's it. So we will meet you in the next video. Till then, take care, goodbye, and thank you.